Mashiane Politically Incorrect. I'm dumbfounded. I'm shocked. Nolubabalo, this could be the last of what we see of a political career. Of course, Floyd is going to fire her, and of course, she's not going to last at MK. But who is she? I know her as a former EFF member of parliament. The EFF people that I talked to, they say she jumped the queue. She was parachuted because using her proximity as the queen of Abatembu, and it backfired when they realized that she's not what they say she is. But I think she's known through political cycles, because they even say in the Eastern Cape she's regarded as a businesswoman. She's in her 40s. Not much of her has been known, and this is the biggest prominent position she's been at. She has embarrassed Floyd far too long for Floyd to last. I don't know how this is going to pan out, but I don't see her emerging anywhere. Even the political party that says she's going to form, it's not going to go anywhere. And I'm not saying it because I'm disrespectful of her, but I don't think after this interview that she has made, she will have any political mileage. She's a Sangoma, she's a businesswoman, former member of parliament, former deputy chairperson. This is the first of us seeing her in action, and I'm very disappointed, very, very disappointed. That's not how a leader carries herself as. And of course, people are alleging certain things that they say. When I contacted the Mayibuye people and the MK people, they say there is no way she could do that to Floyd unless she knows things, or unless Floyd knows things, and unless other MK people know things of her. But I don't want to go long. I just want to leave it here. Please listen to her and tell me what you feel about it. This is the worst. She says Floyd must trust. This is the worst of any political response I've seen. Itada.
To talk about this, good evening and lovely to have you in our studio. The first thing I commented on was your outfit and the logo, which is the MK Party's regalia. Why did you choose to wear that to this interview about Africa Mayibuye?
Since I have been recalled, I decided to just wear my MK Party regalia, because I was never really rejected by the MK Party, so I'm a proud member of Umkhonto weSizwe Party.
Where do you stand with Africa Mayibuye tonight? In preparing for this interview, we're referring to you as the former First Deputy President. One of our viewers messaged and said, well, she's not the former, is it? So where do you stand with the Africa Mayibuye Party tonight in respect of this decision to fire you?
I regard myself still as the Deputy President of Africa Mayibuye movement, because the internal processes were not formally addressed. I just received a letter like 3 a.m. in the morning, and the next thing I was removed from WhatsApp groups, and they just sent me a termination letter without going through the right processes. So I regard myself as still the Deputy President of Africa Mayibuye movement until the internal processes follow what this book says it must follow, because we have this book that we formulated, which is the Africa Mayibuye Restoration Manifesto, that says when such things happen in the organization, disciplinary processes will take place, and such didn't take place. So I am still the first Deputy President of Africa Mayibuye movement. And
as the first Deputy President, in your mind still, what roles and responsibilities do you expect to continue to fulfill till this process, as you say, is completed?
All right. According to the letter that I received from the Secretary General, I'm not supposed to be taking any responsibilities as the first Deputy President. So I'm just waiting for the hearing to take place. So I'm just not doing anything. So for the time being, since I'm a freedom fighter, I'll rather be an activist for Umkhonto weSizwe for the time being, until Africa Mayibuye movement do what it says it will do.
But if in your mind, because, you know, and maybe you can just refresh our viewers, I've been reading the developments around this, and you consider yourself a member of both parties. I think this was a precedent set by Jacob Zuma, and a lot of people are taking their lead from him. But now you're actively campaigning for the MK party. So in your mind, how does this work? You are sticking to your guns. You're still the first DP, but you're campaigning for MKP.
The Constitution of Africa Mayibuye movement does allow dual membership. So
it's simple, it's clear.
Yeah, it allows it. So
there are some serious accusations and allegations, and I want to know what you thought when you read that. I mean, the list was long of things, part of which include these meetings that they say you held with Jacob Zuma and others without a mandate from the Mayibuye leadership. How did that happen? Tell us a bit about those meetings, the purpose, what happened there?
No, the president of Africa Mayibuye is very controlling. You can't tell me that I cannot meet President Jacob Zuma. I know him personally. I'm a member of Mkondo Wesizwe party. So what right do they have to tell me that I'm not allowed to meet President Jacob Zuma? And he's a family friend. My godmother is close friends with the Zumas. So it was a personal meeting. I had to go and say sorry to the president of Mkondo Wesizwe party, because whatever that the MK said about Floyd Shivambu, they were true. So I had to go and submit myself to the president to say, you know what, Baba, I'm very sorry to have left the way that I did. I was just led by emotions, because remember when Floyd Shivambu was demoted from being a Secretary General to going back to Parliament, there were a lot of things that were said. And since I know him from the Economic Freedom Fighters as my Deputy President, you know, I felt very sorry for him, and I was led by emotions, and that was my mistake, you know. And
how does someone trust a leader who, A, can be led by their emotions in the way that you describe, in a senior leadership position, with major, I mean, these have major impacts, the way that people see you, you know, as a leader. Do you believe that in any way undermines that leadership?
Yes, it does definitely undermine the leadership. It's just that from the onstart, I liked the ideologies of Floyd Shivambu. You know, he's very outspoken, he's young, he's vibrant. Even when he recruited me from the Mkondo Wesizwe party to form Africa Mayibuye movement, I was like, okay, you know what? He says that the Africa Mayibuye movement will be a progressive force. So I won't be moving far from the political agenda of the revolution. Do you understand? And I did send a WhatsApp to the president, Jacob Zuma, before I started with Mayibuye. And also I sent the deputy president, Dr. John Hlophe, an email to say, you know what, I've been approached by Comrade Floyd Shivambu to start a new formation, but I'm not doing this because there's anything wrong with the Mkondo Wesizwe party. It's just that, you know, I need to support him, and I also need to grow politically.
What was the response to that?
No, there was no response at all.
Crickets, blue ticks?
No, not really. I don't think parliament members read their parliament email addresses. They use Gmail or Yahoo. So I don't know if you received it, but tonight...
Yeah, did you say you're close friends with the former president?
No, I'm talking about Dr. John Hlophe.
Okay.
Yes, I sent him an email, but...
Right, so you didn't tell former President Jacob Zuma?
No, I sent him a WhatsApp.
And he responded?
No, he didn't.
But crickets again then, right?
Not really, because you can never say when there's no blue tick. I mean, he's an old man. Maybe he doesn't read his WhatsApp.
But he found your WhatsApp when you wanted to meet with him for tea, or the meeting that you had?
No, I called the PA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he met me and he forgave me, and
so
hence I'm wearing...
Yeah. He met you and forgave you. Sorry, pick that up.
Yeah. He met me and he forgave me from leaving MK party to form Africa Mayibuye movement.
So where are you now in all of this? As you say, you're going to fight tooth and nail. Mm-hmm. You want your disciplinary process, but do you want to stay in Africa Mayibuye party? I
mean, I formed it. I mean, if you remember, on the 19th of June, we made a press briefing and we called everyone, and I gave it my all. I was fully committed.
But you feel, I mean, you have quite strong feelings around Floyd Shivambu, and you have some views around his leadership as well, whether his leadership style reflects collectivism within the movement as you describe it. But you talk about strong-handed, one-man, leadership style. You've talked about being power drunk with ego, ego blinding one's wisdom. So state for us unequivocally tonight, because we know that, politics moves quite quickly, Nolubabalo. So tonight you could be feeling different to 3 a.m. when you received that message and that instruction this morning. Where are you tonight with regard to Africa Mayibuye Party and with regard to Floyd Shivambu specifically?
With Africa Mayibuye, I'm still a member.
You want to stay in?
Why not?
Okay.
Why would you form something and you want to leave it? I formed it and I recruited, I mobilized, I brought in people into Africa Mayibuye, and I told them that this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. And I can't just leave my constituency like that. Okay.
And Floyd?
I'm very disappointed in his leadership. I really had high regard. His leadership skills are around gossip, and I think he's a coward. He can't face women. I mean, he could have called me and sat down with me to have a one-on-one and spoke to me like when he asked me to come and start a party. But when I wanted one-on-ones with him, he said, no, he can't meet me one-on-ones. When I saw that there's some funny things going on in the organization.
Like what?
They'll have meetings without me. They deployed Dr. Nozi, the women movement's president, without me. But I was invited to come to a meeting where she was introduced. And it came as a shock to me that how can they deploy someone without me knowing as the second in charge in the whole organization.
We'll try to reach out to Floyd. We did actually try to reach out to them, but we'll reach out to Floyd to respond to what you've just said about him being a coward and somebody who can't face women. Let's go back to some of the issues that the party is, or that the movement is raising with you. Via News 24, Africa Mayibuye alleges that discussions involved these, and you saw the amount, something like 500 billion. You laugh.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
What do you say to this? This is for our viewers who don't know what we're talking about. $500 billion US, no doubt, in direct investments to establish black dollar billionaires with Jacob Zuma, and that you lacked authority. So talk to us about that. I mean, you've already given some of your response.
As I said...